Now, this is the second time I've made this video, and I'll explain to you why in a minute. Uh, the woman with the veil. Do you remember me talking about that video or two back, where she went in for a job interview with okay, they had her on the news station because she claims that the Church of England school will not let her wear the veil while teaching or while being around male colleagues. Now, the interviewer actually asks her, "Wait a minute, who interviewed you?" Uh, she keeps saying, "Well, I can't be around any men without my face covered." And they're like, "Well, did they know about the veil?" And she said, "I don't know why it would be a big deal if I wear a veil. I cannot be around a male colleague with my face uncovered." Uh, well, the interviewer asks her, "Were there any men in the room?" And she goes, "Do I have to answer the question?" He goes, "Well, you're not forced." And then he asks her, "Who interviewed you?" And who was in the room when you were being interviewed? She goes, "Mrs. Somebody and Mr. Smith." Now, this is very important because she had said previously that she did not have her face covered in the interview. And he goes, "Wait a minute, if you're, you know," in her only defense after he asked her, "So there was a male colleague in the room and you didn't have your face covered and you didn't seem to need to have a veil on." And she goes, "Oh, what was it?" She said, um, "Well, he wasn't really interviewing me. He was just there." That's what you're complaining about, is a male colleague just being there and being able to see your face. This is what I wrote in the comment section of this video. I said she didn't want the job. She only wanted to make trouble. Children have the right to see who is teaching them. Children learn more from expressions than they do from words. Since Islam does not care about children, I don't see this as shocking. Obviously, this woman doesn't care about the well-being of children either. Why would she? She's a Muslim. She likes to be dominated by people with penises and beards. Now, I don't think this is too harsh of a language. Uh, I don't think she wanted the job. I don't think it was her own thing. I think oh, by the way, I'm naked right now. I don't think, I think a Muslim group, an equivalent of CARE that we have here in America, in the States, put her up to it. And she was in on it. Now, absolutely, a child needs to see the face of the person that's teaching them. I wouldn't want my nephews or my daughters, or not my daughters, my nieces, they're like daughters to me though, to be taught by somebody who they couldn't see their face. If I had children, I'd probably be enraged. Now, along with this kind of garbage that Europe and North America has been kowtowing to, we have Anjim Chowdhury, who backs up, says all the terrorist attacks were justified. No innocent people were killed in them because he says he's against the killing of innocents. Strongly says it, just like many other Muslim clerics do. But he qualifies that by saying, no non-Muslim. Any non-Muslim is not innocent. Only Muslims are innocent. Only Muslim life who haven't committed crimes, who are living in Islamic countries, are innocent people. You can kill any non-Muslim anytime for any reason, or even without a reason. Now, he is for the idea that any Muslim can go up and kill a man, steal his wife, enslave his wife and kids, rape the wife, sell off the kids, sell off the wife, or just kill the wife and kids. This is what serial killers do, people. All right. Now, another thing. Sahih al-Bukhari clearly talks about Muhammad fondling Aisha when she was 6 years old under some type of water fountain when they were bathing, and doing all sorts of weird sexual acts to her, but didn't actually put his penis into her vagina until she was 9 years And it advocates men having sex with 9-year-olds and doing whatever they want to anybody younger than 9, any child. Now, if I were to write that, I'd be in prison right now, and all the works I had, anything I wrote, would have been censored because it's promoting pedophilia. But yet we allow this in the country because it's religious. If I say, if I go out and start jacking off on stop signs, which I don't think anybody would say that's worse or even as bad as pedophilia, I'd be arrested and thrown in jail. If I said it's my religious right, they'd say, screw you, which they very well should. And the United States of America and Europe should be consistent with their laws. Now, I said that I don't believe in nonviolence in a secular way. In fact, I don't believe in justice. So I said if a British citizen, I suggested, and this might have been wrong, there were words that came out of my mouth, and I'm not saying in this video, I'm just quoting them, that they had the right to walk up and blow this man's brains out. Now, I retract that just because I am not advocating that. That was a view that I had minutes ago, but I am not advocating that now in any way, shape, or form. I just wanted to give you a reason why this is the second time making the video. There may be, if I were to speak violently and tell people to attack people and support it, my video might be deemed as something violent or hostile, and that would jeopardize all the videos that I have on here about the beauty of orthodoxy. Well, along with being orthodox and having a conscience and believing in right and wrong, we can't just confine ourselves to theology and church matters. It's not possible. Christ wouldn't have done it. The apostles wouldn't have done it. You need to stand up for what is right and wrong in this world. Corporal acts of mercy, not just spiritual acts of mercy. And some of that is walking into battle and killing your enemy so they can't come and rape and murder and stamp out the word of Christ. Us Orthodox know this because I'm Eastern Orthodox. That makes me a child of the Byzantine Empire that was crushed and destroyed for no reason except bloodthirsty psychopaths who have a pornographic, perverted religion started by a pedophile. Those are harsh words, I know. Truth hurts. Again, these women who wear the veil and want to push it on the rest of society, they're in a free country and they still want to be dominated by people with penises and beards. I am convinced it's a sex thing for a lot of them, because it really isn't a religious thing. The Quran doesn't tell you you have. The Quran doesn't even tell you have to wear hijab. And in the hadiths, none of the early hadiths say cover your face. Suggest you cover your hair. It doesn't even say cover your neck how they do it. And then later on, it says you get kind of extra credit points for covering your face. Just like wearing a beard is not obligatory, but some people make it obligatory and say you can't cut a single hair off your face. That's another weird kind of extra credit thing. Or that's one version of Islam. You see, there is no consistency in Islam. You'll find for every different person, different set of beliefs, and there's no orthodoxy of Islam. There's Sunni, but it's just a collection of writings passed down. How you interpret those, there is no consistency. There are more fragmented groups in Islam than there are in Christianity, and Islam's smaller than that. Because Islam or Christianity, at least the fragments that the Protestants have, are under different bodies for the most part. It was not up until recently that we had these free-flowing, non-denominational, emergent church weirdos. Because even the non-denominational churches have creeds. They believe in the Trinity and hypostatic union. So Islam should not be respected. And if your enemy comes on your land, why is it wrong to kill him?